Hey everyone, made a couple small silver purchases the last couple weeks. Just wanted to tell you guys and show you guys these. So I bought a couple of vintage silvers. So last Tuesday I went to this coin store and I got this Deke Pereira silver bar. So real quick, silver since the last video has kind of been wildly going up and down. It was at about $75 in my last video, went all the way up to 90, and then now back to the $75 range. So last Tuesday, silver was actually about $85 an ounce when I went to the coin store. And so I saw this Deke Pereira 1 ounce bar in the generic silver round and bar section for $90, which at the time was only $5 over spot. So I Googled it, never had heard of Deke Pereira. Apparently, they were a foreign currency and, metals company back in the day. They existed from 1939 until the mid 80s. So this silver bar was probably made in like the 70s or the 80s. And yeah, really cool. Just, it's pretty rare. I'm not an expert or anything, but it is pretty rare for me to see stuff that I've just never seen before. So I don't think this is like incredibly rare or incredibly sought after, but it is pretty cool and not very common. So it's the kind of thing that I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to pay like a huge premium for or anything like that, because I'm not more of a collector, I'm more of a bullion guy. But to get something at the generic round price that is kind of unique and pretty rare, like in a sense that I've never seen it before. I think that is kind of cool. I looked it up after, and they are selling for, quite a bit higher than $90 on like eBay. Who knows if there's actually a big demand for it, or if people are just, asking for $140 or so for them. But I was excited about this. The company itself has kind of a weird backstory. I looked it up online afterwards. The founder, he was confirmed to be like a member or an operative of the CIA. And then in the 80s, the company went bankrupt because it was accused of money laundering for drug dealers. So, yeah, kind of a long, convoluted backstory to the Deke Pereira company. But long story short, I got a silver that I'd never seen and certainly never owned before at a reasonable price. So, yeah, kind of cool to get this vintage bar. And then today, went back to the coin store a week later. I bought this one last Tuesday. This one on the left here, I bought this today for $80. So it was actually in the same section as this other one, the generic round, section. But silver's gone down about $10 in a week. So instead of being $90, it was $80 for the generic stuff. And on the left here, so the same thing, this is a 1985 round. You can see it's got a date on it. On the other side here, it says A Mark on the bottom. So same thing, A Mark is a metals company that I guess has been around for a long time and is pretty popular. I just never really heard of it. So yeah, I got some stuff I'd never heard of before, some vintage stuff. It is always cool, I think, getting some vintage silver if it's not at like a high premium or a high price. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have any Deke Pereira, if you've ever heard of it, or if you think it's worth anything special. Yeah, let me know how I did on these buys, and thanks for watching.